You kind of get two sets of attributes out of that game. First, you play pretty much 40 minutes exactly the way you want to play against them, and then you get the responses from the team when you need them after those goals start coming.
Yeah, it was a crazy third period after a fairly, not a lot going on the first 40. They scored some big goals. I just loved how we battled back. It was quite a roller coaster, up and down, highs and lows, but the fact that we kept scratching and clawing to get back into that game and get a point was, it's an awesome point. It's an awesome effort by everybody.
Right, did you guys talk about, the fact that you played 7 games basically in a row against teams that are considered legitimate Stanley Cup contenders, and did you learn anything about the team over those 7 games?
We identified it before we played the 7 games and what it was going to, mean to the test sort of standing in front of us. I think we've played some of our best hockey of the year, especially the last 3-4 games. Great team efforts, and I think we've taken a huge step as a group, and so hopefully we can get the job done through the remaining games.
Well, how do you make sure that you maintain this level against teams that are more in the bottom of the standings?
It's hard. It's hard. We have to respect every team we're playing, and once you do that, you tend to buy into how we have to play the disciplined puck management type game that has given us a ton of success lately against really good opponents, and that works against everybody, and we have to realize that and stick to that game plan as often as we can.
Brad, this is a question better for Torts, but against Carolina, you guys started overtime with the Paling duo, did the same thing tonight. Why do you guys start with them? Why have you guys started with them even rather than go with guys that are a little bit more, on the offensive side?
Pales has been one of our best two-way players for the last probably 2-3 months, and so he's got a chance to win the face-off, and plus he's responsible both ends of the rink. He's played well offensively and defensively, and so he's earned the right to get out there. It obviously didn't end the way we wanted. I think he's the right guy to put out there. They've got two of their best offensive guys and one of the best offensive defensemen in the league, and Fox out there as well. And so we have guys that we feel are going to play both ends of the rink really well, and it didn't work out.
Do you feel like you guys have something in the Frost line?
Well, they sure can click and do some pretty special things at time offensively. They're a trio to be reckoned with. I'm sure teams are circling them on the board and say, hey, you got to be aware when these guys are on the ice because they're coming, and they've got the skill to put it in the net.
The Rangers have kind of been like a barometer of the last 3 or so seasons for the Flyers. Do you feel like you're kind of closing the margin a little bit here between you guys and them?
Yeah, I don't think, we're trying to do our best every game. We know what they've done as an organization the last few years. They've got a real good hockey team here. I thought we played a heck of a hockey game to stay with it. To not fold our tent. We had plenty of opportunities to do that. I loved how we kept our resilience and our tenacity and found a way to get a point out of that game. We're concerned about where our organization's going, and we really like where it's pointed.
Kind of the conventional wisdom against the Rangers is, don't get into a track meet with them. But that third period, even though maybe it's not the way you necessarily want to play against them, does it give you confidence to know that if you have to, you can hang with them even in that style?
Yeah, I mean we've had good rush success all year. A lot of our offense is generated off the rush, and that's kind of been a new development from last year. And that's a credit to the skill level of our guys and their ability to read when to go and when not to go. New York's got a collection of offensive players that you have to be aware of. And, we didn't want to get into a track meet, but once it opened up, it was a great display of mental toughness to stay with it and find ways to stay in it. And we have a chance, TK's got a chance with just over a minute left, and we might be talking about a different result here. So I really loved our effort. I just loved the way we kept with it.
Back to the point you were making before, just about where the organization's headed. Obviously, with every season, there are challenges, but there's also been a lot of rewards this year. Might be tough to say after a game like that, but do you think this has been more of a rewarding year to this point or a more challenging year to this point?
Well, I think every year is a challenge. I guess from where we were picked to finish, we've far outpaced that sort of prediction, and that's a credit to all the guys on the ice and the effort and their buy-in and all the little things they've done so well to this point this year. We've got 9 huge games left, and we're going to take them one at a time, and we're going to try and get the job done and try and play some real meaningful games in April as well.
Just
Last one.
just in terms of your perspective on how the team's defended the last 3 games, for obvious reasons, it seemed like defensive coverage was a little bumpy coming out of the trade deadline, but now it seems to have settled in. Like guys like Adder, Jennings, Johnson, they seem to really settled in now in your view and kind of help lock things down back there.
Yeah, I think it takes a little bit to get used to the different systems or ideas that we have away from the puck. I think a big reason is that the York and Sanheim pair has played exceptional and have really eaten a lot of big minutes against the other team's best players. They've really allowed us to, sort of allow the other guys to not have to play quite so much. But it's always a team effort. I liked all our guys on the back end tonight. I thought they all worked hard. Just didn't get the result we were looking for.